Hello, everybody. It's Laura back with the Real Laura B for Live. I haven't done one in a while. I'm shaken. I mean, I'm getting ready to do insurance claims, and lo and behold, we have more news dropping. So I definitely want to get into that. I've got some mods. I'm going to play my intro, and I'm going to see if I can try again to limit the comments to, I did predict it. I'm limited comments to the to subscribers only. Hi, I'm Laura, also known as the Real Laura B from Twitter. I'm a researcher, truth seeker, and a new wave internet journalist. I'm not a lawyer, nor offering any legal advice. Join me on a journey to draw the curtain back to expose key news developments in the world of celebrity lawsuits and current events. Let's get started. Okay, guys. I'll let a few people show up, and I go close to the live chat where I'm at. I'm supposed to be able to, I can see the participants. It's not showing me where I can limit comments. I'm doing everything it's telling me to do. I'm in there. I see no way to edit it. Hold on. I know we'll let a few people show up, and then I'll keep looking. Yeah. Send feedback. Nope. Nope. So I'm supposed to hit live chat. I did. All messages are visible. I see. It may be that I'm just too new yet to have that. Maybe I haven't had enough hours yet. I just can't find a way to do it, guys. Sorry. Tried. Anywho, let me get back here where I can see our comments. If somebody we think we need more mods, let me know. But yeah, we're just getting started. Everybody's on Twitter and around the places reading the documents. It's crazy. Let me share with you what I see. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate it very, very much. All right. Thank you, Secret with Squirrel. I love that you do this. That you're so awesome. Where are we? Let's start with, yes. As we figured, Judge Azcarate was not happy at all. In fact, not only did she deny the entire motion to set aside the verdict, that she wanted the damages reduced and about the juror, but she separated out her supplemental discussion about the juror. Judge Azcarate was not happy. This cause came before the court upon defendant Amber Laura Heard's post-trial motions. After review of defendant's post-trial motions, plaintiff's opposition, and the relative statutes and case law, it is therefore ordered as follows. Defendant Amber Laura Heard's post-trial motions 1 through 6 are denied for the reasons stated on the record. So basically, she's saying everything that the jury came up with, she's sticking with on the record. Defendant Amber Laura Heard's post-trial motion 7 is likewise denied in the reasons outlined below. Probably should, sorry guys, let me make this bigger for you. Oh, no, I can't. It's a screenshot. All right. And also, this is from Chanelay, Court TV. Ooh, we got to get that one bigger. Let's see if I remember right. I actually have to go the opposite way. Let's see if I can pop this out. Open image and tab. Maybe that'll help us out. Yeah. Sorry, guys. But this is worth it. Worth it, I say. Yes. On the jury questionnaire, okay, let's see. Yes, so she read the first part. On the jury questionnaire, matches the information Juror 15 provided to the court. Juror 15 was vetted by the court on the record and met the statutory requirements for service. The parties also questioned the jury panel for a full day and informed the court that the jury was acceptable. Therefore, due process was guaranteed and provided to all parties in this litigation. Voir dire was conducted in a fair and impartial manner. with the court and both parties examining the potential jurors. There's no evidence of fraud or wrongdoing. She's finished. She's finished. Defendant does not allege 15 jurors' inclusion on the jury prejudiced her in any way. The juror was vetted, sat for the entire jury, deliberated, and reached a verdict. The only evidence before the court is that this juror and all jurors followed their oaths, the court's instructions and orders, and this court is bound by the competent decision of the jury. This order is final. Final. Finito. I love it. I love it. So we have that finished. No more Amber Heard and Fairfax. Her only option now is to appeal, and it's slim at best. Slim at best. My system's a little slow here. Thank you so much, John, for the sticker. Let me make sure my Wi-Fi is where it should be. Yeah, it is. Getting a little bit feedback or slow down. Yeah, touche, Judge Penny. It's awesome. It is so awesome. I'm so happy. Yeah, her supporters all been in a rage about the juror and like, nope, nope, nope. What we saw, what we knew. I did a video not long ago about the juror, and and I came up with a form. I found an image. I can only find one image of a summons from Chesapeake County, which was right next door to Fairfax. So in my one video about did they seat the wrong juror, I showed the Chesapeake form, and on the form there is no date of birth. It's name, address. This is your group you're in. This is the day you respond. When you get here, we'll sign your pass. And so we nailed it. We were right on top of it. So I'm so thrilled. She has no chance. I'm looking back to see if I missed any super stickers or chats while I was presenting that. I think I'm all up. I got one more that is not popping up. Still getting used to this. Scrolling down to the bottom, and then we will get into something else that we really should talk about quickly. Just saw. So yes, NBC is doing something on Wednesday. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. There is another one that flipped by. I can see it at the top, but it's not letting me bring it up for some reason. I can see it's David G for $20. Thank you very much. $20. I can't find it. Oh, here you are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. God, you guys are great. I'm excited. Here, toast. I wish I had a mega pint. I have a Diet Coke. Amber Heard is done. The Wicked Witch is gone, over and finished with. She's got all she has left is her appeal. And Johnny's free. Johnny is free. Let's talk about that for real quick. Let's talk about that. I was on Andy Sigmore's Popcorn Planet, and we were talking about all the videos I had done to get up to date for the Brooks versus Depp. They were going to trial July 25th. July 12th was supposed to be a conference, a final status conference. And as I'm talking to him, I'm sitting here with my phone the whole time, refreshing it to the point I dropped it at one point and made this big loud boom. And just as I sign off with him, this comes through that they have indeed settled. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate it so very much. It's a huge help, especially with the Brooks. I paid for all those documents, and I'm glad they settled. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled they settled. I really am, and I'll tell you why, for lots of reasons, mostly financial, and Johnny's freedom. Johnny's freedom. So they did come up, I did push that out, and whew, just shaking. So what have we got on this that I can go over? Okay, so the court notes that a notice of settlement was filed on July 11th. It's a non-appearance case review for dismissal. It's scheduled for February 16th. Non-appearance, which means it's going to be a Zoom call, come to a Zoom hearing, just making sure everything's done. Could be just paperwork. Scheduled for February 16, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. If a dismissal is not filed, plaintiff is to file a declaration as to why the case should not be dismissed. The declaration be filed by February 9th, 2023. So they've got till February 2023 to fulfill whatever they're promised to do. Now, I know what you're hearing. You're hearing a lot of people thinking this means Johnny's guilty of something. Absolutely not. You have to understand what's been going on in the California courts, and that's what it's all about. Because of beer bug, say, because of beer bug, cases have been backlogged incredibly, just so backed up. So the courts in California have always had a mandatory arbitration package that goes up, or mediation, that you kind of try and come to a settlement. Yeah, Pacer's account's expensive. I did find some documents for free. We'll go over some of those. But yeah, the Pacer account's expensive. So back to Depp. So what happened was they were supposed to have their trial again in February earlier this year. And Rocky Brooks' side again filed to delay, claiming, number one, the lawyer was on maternity leave. But the other thing, they said, hey, no, we all have to participate in a what's it called? A required settlement conference, mandatory settlement conference, an MSC. So, and that has to be done 90 days before the trial. Well, they did participate in it. It's just that the trial got delayed again. So the fact that they did not want to go to trial without an MSC, you can tell Rocky was really pushing to settle. He wanted to settle. And yeah, 95% of cases, the civil cases, settle. They just do. So in this mandatory settlement conference, both sides have to bring something to the table, and they negotiate it. So this was going to happen pretty much. This is a minor trial. It's a nuisance to Johnny. Now think about it. Again, because of beer bug, this concert tour got delayed so many times. I got to calm down. I'm so excited about the Fairfax thing. Shh, everybody take a breath. My brother is a sound engineer, and he's been financially devastated from this situation where so many of his jobs were canceled, that he did big corporate conventions, conferences, small music venues. He did all kinds of stuff, and it was all shut down. So I can completely understand that Johnny's Jeff Beck's tour is finally up and going. They have all these venues. In the past, they've been shut down and people have been given their tickets. Some of them have been reimbursed. Some of them have said, no, you're stuck with your tickets until we reschedule. So here Johnny has this case July 25th. Well, July 23rd, 24th, and 25th, he's supposed to be performing in France. If he were to cancel, well, 1 wouldn't have been enough. 2, kind of close. 3, to get back here, acclimate himself to California time and talk with his lawyers. That's 3 concerts that have to be canceled. And we're not talking about Johnny's pocket. We're talking Jeff Beck's pocket. We're talking about the other musicians' pocket. We're talking about all the crew, everybody who's involved in setting up the stage, all running a concert. All of them would have been out money. So we're not just talking Johnny's legal fees, and we know how he feels about other people. So I think when the chance came up and they were able to have a meeting of the minds, they settled. I imagine some money's been exchanged, but it could be more than that. It could be, and I've seen this, Andrea Burkhart and Legal Bites have all said, hey, don't settle. And guess what's going to come out at trial? Your egregious lies are going to come out, and nobody's going to want to hire you again. Is that the risk you want to take? Or maybe after I win this trial, I'll file a frivolous lawsuit for your frivolous lawsuit and get my costs back. Do you really want to risk that? So let's have a meeting of the minds today and finish this. So I don't know why the date is out so far. Maybe it's we don't talk about it date. I don't know. But they've settled. Thank God. Let him move on. My injury didn't get treated in time because of beer bug, and I have full use of my arm, my chest, etc. I had my own medical conditions. I hate to bring this up. I ended up with cancer, and I saw some symptoms. And because of all the medical shutdown, I couldn't get into an office to get checked early enough, and it ended up spreading a little bit. But I'm good. I'm as good as I can be. I'm taking my medicine every day. But yeah, the beer bug wreaked havoc on so many people. Okay, deep breath. Hello, everybody. Look at y'all filling up. I love it. I love it. Just the fact that you've agreed to dismiss this settlement. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your help. I really do. It makes such a difference. There's an Australian petition. Okay, there's an Australian petition for the government to move Amber Heard against perjury. Oh, good. We'll get that link out. I'll try and remember Secret Miss Squirrel to get that in my link, my description box down here. I appreciate that. Whew, quite the celebration, isn't it? Amber Heard is done. Brooks is done. Johnny gets all the monkeys off his back, and he finally gets to enjoy his music career and his movie career. By the way, their album drops Friday. Yeah, July 15th, Friday. And I hear it's getting some really good reviews. Now, of course, we're going to get some of the naysayers because they're just biased against Johnny. That's just the way it is. But I think I heard The Independent did a really good review on it. So that's exciting. That's exciting. Let's see what we've got going on. So let's start with this one. Because this is going to be conversational. I'm not going to sit here reading a lot of documents for you all today. This is going to be an intro to what's going on with Amber Heard and her insurance company. This is freaky weird for me. Amber Heard is broke due to mounting legal fees, lavish spending, so say sources. Amber Heard can't pay the $10.4 million she owes Johnny Depp, her lawyer revealed Thursday. This was a while back, you remember. Sources told the Post the actress is broke due to hefty legal fees associated with the bombshell defamation trial. Remember, she testified that she could not donate to the charity because she got sued. And Camille said, whoa, wait a minute. You received this money 13 months before you even wrote the op-ed. Well, I know, and I scheduled these payments, and then I had to stop paying them because I got sued. I had over $6 million in legal fees. Remember, she said that on the stand. I couldn't pay because of my legal fees. Oh, no, absolutely not, Heard's attorney Elaine Bredehoft told NBC's Today when asked if the actress had the means to cover the hefty judgment handed down by the jury on Wednesday. The high-profile court battle with her ex-husband has left the 36-year-old actress hurting for cash, according to sources, including one who also placed the blame on Heard's past, lavish spending on travel, clothes, gifts, and, well, we know about the wine. Multiple sources said the Aquaman star had to switch legal representation and is relying on her homeowner's insurance policy to cover the cost of her current attorneys in the case. Boom. We all read it. We all heard about it. We all checked our own policies going, hey, wait a minute. Is this a thing? I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. And this is here she is. The vice president of the insurance firm, Pamela Johnson, was spotted in the Fairfax, Virginia court with Heard multiple times throughout the trial. Neither Johnson nor Travels returned calls to the Post. I was there. I saw her every day. We kept trying to figure out who she was. She came in from the back room. That's important. So when Eve was allowed in there, Eve also came in from the back room. The lawyers were in the back room. So there's her travel agent, Pamela Johnson. So now we know it's all true. And how do we know this? Because it was leaked by TMZ and I think it's LA Times, that Amber Heard is being sued by her insurance company, and it's not Travelers. Confused were we? Sure. So she's being sued. It happened on, let's get this date, New York, Maine, and General Insurance Company, we're going to call them New York, Maine, sues Amber Heard, and they file on July 8th. The verdict's done. The verdict's retorted. I guess she said, hey, I need my money. We assume that's what happened. And he goes, lady, I'm not paying you. You lost. You didn't just lose. You lost. It was an intentional tort. You lied. You lied. The jury found you lied every single time. The jury found this was a hoax. Even on that one statement, they still found you were a hoax. They just said, well, maybe the lawyers didn't tell your friends to mess up the place. Maybe we can't give that to Depp. But you lost. It's intentional. And I'm not paying. So they're suing each other. Well, we went and did some research, and then we found out that, Travelers sued New York, Maine back in July of 2021. We didn't know this was going on. They hid Amber's name in as the insured in a defamation trial to begin in April. And we found it. So now we've got two lawsuits going on. We have Travelers suing New York, Maine, And then we have New York, Maine suing Amber Heard. And I'm not going to specifically go through each and every one. I'll touch on some points. The most important thing I wanted to come up with was some dates, because I think that's important. So on March 1st, Johnny filed to sue. On March 19th, the case was accepted in Fairfax County, and Timothy J. McAvoy from Cameron McAvoy, he is Amber Heard's attorney, and that's the one we see on the papers a lot in the beginning. In addition, we have Eric George and Richard Schwartz. Excuse me, I haven't covered my notes here. But Eric George represented Amber in London Field's lawsuit. So he's been with her for a while. So Amber Heard has her two lawyers now. She has to have a local office. She has Eric George from California, who she's had for a while, and she has Cameron McAvoy. I don't know who picked that firm. I don't know who recommended it to her, but she had to have a local firm. That's who she has. So on March 26, 2019, McAvoy issues a letter requesting the assignment of the judge. They want only a certain judge assigned. And we have the Pro Hac Vici is done April 11th for Eric George and Richard Schwartz. So that's who her lawyers are. And the dates are kind of going to be important in a little while. July 25th, Amber is denied the dismissal to change venue. She's not too happy. That was her first time to try and get this case dumped. On August 23rd, Richard Schwartz files asking for certified documents that they want to use in the trial. And every time they file documents, they're going to list all of Amber Heard's attorneys to make sure they get copies. And they're going to list all of Johnny Depp's attorneys to make sure they get copies. And Cameron McAvoy was listed. And that's going to be important because that's one of the claims that New York Marine is going to make, that at some point you stopped working with my lawyer that I assigned. You dumped him. You just ignored him. You didn't dump him. You ignored him. So on September 5th, Benjamin Rottenborn of Virginia has noticed that he's going to make an appearance for Amber Heard. That's September 2019. And what's really interesting is when he files his notice, he does not include Cameron and McAvoy. They're not on the service list. On September 5th, also, Robbie Kaplan and her entire crew give notice that they're going to represent Amber Heard. And Cameron McAvoy is not on the service. Now, let's remember, Cameron McAvoy is a Virginia-based. Eric George is California-based. Roberta Kaplan is New York-based. But, of course, they have other lawyers. Interesting enough, Benjamin Rottenborn is Virginia-based. So now we have two Virginia-based attorneys on the case. Not that that can't happen. Thank you, Jill. Thank you very much. I might have got that before. I'm just trying to catch up again. So we have two Virginia-based. September 13th, the judge orders a protective order. And again, Cameron McAvoy's office is left off. So now the judge, for whatever reason, is not including Cameron McAvoy in their service list. So they're being completely left out. Thank you, Kip123. Thank you so much. So that's interesting. On September 30th, now Kaplan's come in already. Kaplan came in September 5th. Marine emails to travelers. I encourage you to revise your reservation of rights in such a way as to avoid having to provide the mutual insured with independent counsel. And this is interesting. So now we know sometime around September 30th, New York Marine and Travelers, they find out they've insured Amber Heard, and she somehow contacted them to get them to cover her. And a lot of people were looking at this thinking, did she take out the insurance just to write the op-ed? And I find it odd that she's had lawyers now up until September 30th, Eric George, Cameron McAvoy. She took on Roberta Kaplan, although there could have been some behind-the-scenes stuff, and Rottenborn, but hadn't applied for the insurance yet. So it doesn't look like she knew she had insurance to cover it. What I suggest could have happened, might have happened, is that I think when Roberta Kaplan came on, Amber was recommended, Amber said, I can't afford you. And Roberta said, hey, go check your homeowner's insurance. Go see if you have insurance that covers us. And I think I'm speculating, but I think that's how it happened. That's my guess. Thank you, Camille. Vasquez Rendo fan. Appreciate it very much. There was another one that came by here. I can't find it. I don't like the system. I can see 1999 from MNMS, a super sticker. Thank you. And I don't know. Here it is. The messages themselves get by me, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. So here's what we got. As of September 30th, 2019, they start talking to the insurance companies, and they are quite different. They're quite different. What we know about New York Marine is they offer defense. Seems to be no limit, no dollar limit, but they have a $1 million limit on an occurrence. In other words, if she lost, which we know she did, and there was damages, which we know they are, the maximum New York Marine will pay out is $1 million. Now, we don't know about Travelers. We know Travelers also provides a full payment of defense, but we don't know about their cap. We don't know how much of damages. And they're fighting this tooth and nail over $1 million. So I'm guessing they have a lot more to pay. So let's keep going. On October 1st, Travelers accepted Amber Heard's claim for the policy, and we don't know their money limit. They do have a reservation of rights and California law, but they don't pick her counsel. They let her pick the counsel of her choice. Travelers offered to pay for independent counsel of Amber's own selection, subject to the rate limitations of California Code 2860. And that would be Pamela Johnson dealing with that. But they didn't seem to enforce this, claims New York Marine. ProSite, which is New York Marine, on that same date, October 1st, sends a letter, copies it with Eric George, says, okay, we're going to accept your claim on our conditions. Then let's talk about the difference. We have two insurance claims, two insurance companies. Travelers Insurance is via her homeowner's insurance. New York Marine is via commercial insurance to Under the Black Sky, which is Amber Heard's loan out company. And she is the insured. She's named as insured, so they're going to cover her. To the extent, and this is what's in his letter, that California law does not indemnify you. And this is what they're claiming. If we find out that this was intentional on your part, we're not going to cover you. We have assigned defense counsel to represent and defend you in this manner. The assigned defense counsel is Cameron McAvoy. We ask you to cooperate fully with your attorneys in defending against the lawsuit. All right, now what's the argument for this? A lawyer can't serve two masters in this. When insurance says, yes, we'll pay for your defense, and there's an attorney, the attorney's only client is Amber Heard. It's not the insurance company. The attorney will only do whatever's in best interest of the client, Amber Heard. They don't want a perception that they're feeding both masters, that something's going on behind the scenes. And that's why some insurance companies will offer counsel of your choice. Well, in this case, Cameron McAvoy was Amber Heard's counsel of choice. She was already using him. So when ProSite or New York Marine came on, they said, okay, let me look at this guy. Yeah, he's fine. He's good. We're going to keep him on the team. We want you to work with him. And we want him to be lead counsel. They have personal liability insurance. This insurance is in excess over any valid and collectible insurance written specifically to cover as excess over the limits of liability that apply in this policy. So we know that they're not going to pay more than $1 million. That's what we don't know about Travelers. So they talk about it. They explain plaintiff is not seeking damages because of bodily injury or property damage in the complaint. However, the plaintiff is seeking damages which falls in the definition of personal injury, oral or written publication of material that slanders or libels a person or organization, including other forms of defamation. So that's why her case qualifies. So this happens October 1st. November 12th, Eric George and Richard Schwartz withdraw. They are yeated, most likely. November 20th, now they were the California lawyers, and a lot of subpoenas were happening in California. And on November 20th, DeVita Brooks is brought in. So that's what happened there. On April 1st, Amber's demurrage was denied for 3 out of 4 statements. On June 12th, another motion was filed by Rottenborn and Treese all by themselves. No Kaplan in that one, and no Cameron McAvoy. So something's going on behind the scenes. That was on June 12th, 2020. June 17, 2020, Kaplan withdraws. She takes everybody with her. And the only person she's noticed is Rottenborn. And that's it. And we don't know how Elaine got on. We don't know how Elaine got on until we saw the blast. The blast told us. So let's take a look at that. How am I doing here with questions? The traveler spent in excess of $5 million, Steve. I have an update for you. I have an update on that. Some more files have been released. Any other questions? Can you tell me if Laura is a lawyer? No, my interest says I am not a lawyer. I do not give legal advice. I'm just a real person like you guys that do a lot of research and ask a lot of questions, and I try and bring you the information that as I understand it, as you might understand it, versus reading contract law. Yeah. I can try and see them later. Yeah. Do you know where they are populated? They haven't been. Oh, you're talking about the denial. It has not been uploaded to Fairfax yet. I don't know if it is, but I imagine, yeah, the Fairfax site must be melting by now. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be uploaded. My sources told me that there will be no more uploads, none. And then Amber Heard's side, Elaine, had leaked, or her PR leaked, the motions that were filed, and I think Judge Azcarate's office was upset that things were being leaked out of context. And another trial in the public opinion and decided, I'm going to put up Ben's answer. So I hope her motion comes up and then finishes. That'll be the end of the Fairfax site at that point. They won't be involved in the appeals. Let me look at. I'm looking for. I have to see what it looks like. It's a star. It's a star. Okay. Am I coming up? Yeah. This is from the blast. This is from June 15th. We were just talking about this. Amber Heard's legal team just lost a very high-profile attorney after Time's Up co-founder Roberta Kaplan filed to withdraw from the defamation case and filed against that Johnny Depp filed. In new legal documents, these were never uploaded to the site, by the way. In new legal documents obtained by the blast, Kaplan, along with several other attorneys, filed asking a judge to approve them to dropping of the case and say that Amber has endorsed the decision. According to the filing, the underside moves to an entry of order permitting Roberta Kaplan, John Quinn, Julie Fink, Davida Brook. Joshua had already withdrawn because he went on to a, I forget his last name, to a DC committee. So he had withdrawn and come back. The document says she's leaving the case based on grounds that are stated below, which we all laughed at. Amber Heard will have a Virginia attorney leading the case in that case from now on, saying, in addition to the undersigned who is remaining in this matter as counsel of record, Ms. Heard has retained the services of another trial counsel licensed in Virginia, Elaine Bredehoft. We don't have any of this excerpts of this, but we do know who everybody left except for Ben Rottenborn and Elaine. Well, poor Cameron McAvoy is still there, and he's still being ignored. The document continued. All withdrawing counsel are currently admitted pro hac vici. Ms. Heard will still be presented by the undersigned Virginia counsel. That's Ben Rottenborn. As we said, the Aquaman actress seems to have been in on the decision, and the filing says she agrees with the sudden move. Ms. Heard does not object to the withdrawal of withdrawing counsel and has endorsed the proposed order granting to leave to withdraw. A spokesperson for Kaplan, we believe Amber and we believe in Amber. We have been proud to serve as Amber's counsel in the strange and unexpected circumstances of today's world. She's talking about the beer bug. As travel logistics have become more costly in light of the pandemic, we understand the decision to move the case to local Virginia-based trial counsel. Now, Ben Rottenborn was there. He's local counsel. Cameron McAvoy is still there, local counsel, being ignored. And now we've got Elaine Bredehoft. So what is going on? what is the scenario that I can ascribe to you what's happening? We have two insurance companies that should be working together. They shouldn't be competing. They should be working together. But they obviously have different issues, because we know that New York Marine is capped out at $1 million. We don't know what Travelers is capped out. They've agreed to provide a defense. And why would an insurance company do that? Well, they would think that the cost for defense is going to be cheaper than the damages. So if we can win for our client, oh my God, Debbie, if I can find you, I will. I wish I was on Popcorn Planet. They would have all these bells and whistles, and I can't find you. Oh, Debbie, you're amazing. This is so awesome. $200. Oh, not worthy for sure. Thanks, Laura, for all your hard work and dedication to spreading the facts and truth on Johnny. Sincerely appreciate your hard work. Oh, I hope I make it all worthwhile. I honestly do. I honestly hope I've helped and made a difference. Whew. Okay, toast to you, Debbie. Thank you. I'm going to try not to cry right now. Okay, so in this scenario, the insurance companies are hoping they're going to spend far less on defending a case and getting the best they can for their client to win versus leaving them on their own to pick whatever counsel they can afford out of pocket, and they could end up paying a lot more damages. Now we know New York Marine's limit to $1 million. So how best can I explain what's happening here? This is a declaratory lawsuit, right? Let's see what they call this. I want to make sure I call it the right names. Declaratory relief lawsuit for equal contribution of defense expenses. That's different than a lawsuit where someone's harmed. Like Johnny was harmed in his defamation and he wanted payback. He wanted to take her to court, prove she lied. He wanted damages and he wanted punitive damages. This is an argument of controversy. It's an argument. So how best can I explain this? And this is what made sense to me. I hope y'all don't think I'm crazy. Two people are hired to do the same job, right? New York Marine and Travelers. And they're meant to work together, not against each other. They're meant to work together. They have to share. We both have this policy. We both have to provide support. We have to find a defense. So let's go to dinner. You're going to think I'm crazy on this one, but this is how I understand it. Let's go to dinner and talk about it. So they go to dinner, and their waitress, Amber Heard, if you will, says, what can I get you to eat? And they're in Fairfax, say, who cares? And New York Marine is saying, well, you know, what's good and reasonable? I'm on a budget. She goes, well, we're really known for our chicken Parmesan. And it's a huge portion. He goes, well, that sounds good to me. I think I'll have the chicken Parmesan. It's reasonable. It's really good. It comes recommended by you, Amber Heard, the waitress. Yeah, I highly recommend this. I think this is great. Great. We'll do this. And Travelers, why don't you share the dish with me? Because they say it's so large. And Travelers says, no, I'm not going to do that. I think I can do better. And Amber Heard, being the waitress, is like, really? Tell me about it. Well, remember, at this point, she's got Cameron McAvoy. And somewhere right in the same time frame, she has Eric George. And at the same time, she has Robbie Kaplan and Ben Rottenborn. So Traveler says, I don't want chicken Parmesan. I don't want to share your chicken Parmesan. I want lobster. I'm going to have lobster. She's like, he's sitting there. New York Marine's like, lobster? What do you need lobster for? That's like outrageously priced. She goes, no, I want lobster. I'm going to order lobster. And Amber Heard, the client, is like, yeah, I'll go for a lobster attorney any day. That's awesome. Yeah. And you know what? While I'm at it, Traveler says, I'm really in a surf and turf mood. I'm going to get the filet mignon too. New York Marine's like, are you crazy? We have this huge dish of chicken Parmesan. Very respectable, highly recommended. Amber Heard's happy with it. We can share it equally, 50-50 for a while. No, I want lobster, Kaplan, Roberta Kaplan and her crew, and I want filet beef. Ben Rottenborn. That's a local dish. Well, I'm having a local dish too. I'm having chicken parm. Cameron McAvoy, that's a local dish. Well, I'm having a local dish too. I'm having the beef. So I'm going to go with Ben Rottenborn, Robbie Kaplan. We're going to go with the beef and the lobster. And you can stick with your chicken parm because I don't want any of it. So he keeps waiting on his chicken parm, and she comes out and she's eating her lobster, and he's waiting on his chicken parm, and she's eating her lobster and her beef, and she's getting full. And she comes out and she says, I don't think I'm liking the lobster so much. And he's like, well, I'm still waiting on my chicken parm because the waitress is ignoring me for some reason. She's supposed to be, she recommended chicken parm, and she's not bringing my chicken parm. My chicken parm is probably sitting on the counter under a heat lamp, and everybody's ignoring it. And it's perfectly good chicken parm. And Travelers is like, well, the lobster's not to my liking, so I'm going to send the lobster back. Well, and let's see what happened back then. Well, yeah, Amber Heard's audio tapes were released admitting that she instigated physical fights. Amanda DeCadenet said, I'm not going to be her witness anymore because she lied on those tapes. I'm really disappointed. Amber Heard lost her demurrer. And not long after that, Robbie Kaplan's like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. Eric George has been gone. She's gone, and she's taking her whole crew with her. And that leaves McAvoy and Cameron McAvoy and Rottenborn. So she's still got her filet of beef. He's like, fine. You got your beef. Your lobster's out of here. I still got my chicken parm. I'm still waiting to get delivered. And Travel says, you know what? I'm not done. I want some dessert. She says, what do you want for dessert? I want Flaming Alaska. Excuse me? You want a specialty dessert? Because you could get ice cream on a brownie with whipped cream, and it's the same thing. No. I want baked Alaska, where they put the flame on it and they carry it around the road. Because you want a show pony. And Amber Heard's like, sounds good to me. I've had the lobster. I've had the filet. Lobster didn't work out with filet of beef. I'm all about the baked Alaska. And in comes Elaine Bredehoft. That's how I see what's happened. So we've got Cameron McAvoy still under the heat lamp. This poor man's waiting for his dinner. Travelers had their lobster. They've had their filet. And now they've got their baked Alaska. And New York Marine's like, look, this is crazy. So this is what's happened now. At the end of the meal, what it usually does? The bill comes. And the bill is sitting there. And the waiter comes. This is now the manager's coming and says, I understand there's a problem with the bill. What's the matter? Poor New York Marine's like, I never got my chicken parm. And then right at that minute, Amber's going to bring out the chicken parm. Here's your parm. Here's what I recommended to you. Remember, because she had already hired Cameron before New York Marine came in. He goes, well, it's been ignored this whole time. I don't want it now. I don't think they want it now. So what happens? Cameron McAvoy on November 2nd, which happened to be the same day as the UK judgment, says, you know what? I'm out of here. Withdrawing counsel has been involved in this matter from the start as local counsel. Withdrawing counsel has remained on as local counsel upon request to do so by Ms. Heard, but Ms. Heard is currently in very capable hands of additional Virginia counsel, meaning Rottenborn and Bredehoft, such that Cameron and McAvoy continued involvement is unnecessary and therefore seeks to withdraw. So they've been sitting there wanting to get out of this thing. Like, they're not giving me any work. I want to go. So like I said, the bill comes and Travelers is the first to put out her credit card and says, here, put 50% of the bill on my card. And New York Marine goes, are you out of your mind? I'm not paying half of your ridiculous costs. You like totally went overboard. You ignored my dish. I couldn't get it. I'll pay for my dish. I'll pay for half my dish or whatever. No, that's not the deal. We have to share costs. We have to share in the defense. And he's like, you know what? You're crazy. I'm not doing this. So what happens? They stuck with the bill. Nobody's agreeing how they're going to pay for it. I'd be asking for big doggy bags. Yeah. So that's what they're gone to the judge saying, hey, judge, we have this bill. Somebody has to pay for it. And I don't think it's fair. Travelers, New York Marine's like, I don't think it's fair. I had a perfectly good attorney of Amber Heard's own choice. I agreed for that attorney. I agreed for that attorney to be the lead attorney. I agreed that she had to work with that attorney. And now this other company comes in and says she's going to pick another attorney. We're not going to put any top ceiling rate, although they should, because of course, California code, they're supposed to. Who's going to pay the bills? I'm paying my fair share. I'm not paying this. So Travelers gets upset and says to the judge, hey, they haven't paid anything. This isn't fair that we're getting stuck with all of this. And Marine comes back, New York Marine come back and says, hey, we've paid Travelers a sum of $621,000 already. Don't tell us we haven't paid any. This is ridiculous. And Travelers goes, I'm going to sue you, and the judge is going to have to tell us who pays what. He's like, fine. So what happens? Court is over. Amber Heard loses. She has massive punitive damages. She's found to be have lied with malice, reckless disregard of the truth, and intentional tort. And now New York Marine is going to sue Amber and go, not so fast. We're not paying for you. So that's where we're at. I have one more thing to share with you that I think is interesting, and that's Travelers has filed to stay this, and some of the things she's put in there are quite interesting. But let me see if there's any questions here. I've watched Legal Bites. No, she hasn't covered it yet. I watched Uncivil Law. Hold Law has covered this. And that's how I got a lot of my information to understand this insurance and this contract law. Yes. I wasn't going to go through all the documents today. I think this is going to be a long enough intro. But yeah, I think it was April of 2021. Elaine had burnt through the $2.5 million that had agreed on because she wasn't capping the cost, the hourly rate. And then she finally came back and said, New York Marine's right. We're supposed to be within a reasonable rate. So they burnt through a lot of money. Where do you find out? That's the one document I am going to go through. It's not very many pages. So one of the things that came up on Uncivil Law, which I was like, oh my God, made me think. I used to be a real estate agent. My mom wrote, she worked in Prudential Insurance. So we have a little bit background there. I've owned homes. I have my homeowner's insurance. We've talked about this. How do insurance companies make money if they're paying out claims like this? And Uncivil Law was funny because he's right on the spot. He says, because you buy insurance hoping nothing will happen to your home. You don't want anything to happen to your home, right? But God forbid it does. You've got insurance to pay for fix it. Insurance is like, yeah, we'll be there for you if something goes wrong. Insurance is hoping nothing will ever go wrong. They don't ever want to give you money. Not that they don't have to because they're insured, but they're selling you insurance on the hope and prayer that nothing goes wrong, because you're both on the same page. Nobody wants anything to go wrong. Nobody wants to go and be in a car accident. Yes, thank God you have the insurance to take care of it, but you don't want it to happen. And the insurance company doesn't want it to happen. So that's how they make their money. So all the money that we pay goes into this pool. And then when you have an incident like this that has to be paid out, it comes out of the pool of money. And I sat there. No joke. I've had Travelers insurance for years. My money may have gone to pay for Amber Heard's defense. How's that for irony? Not so happy there. My money that I've been putting in year after year after year for many, many a year has gone into this pool. And some of that could have been going toward her defense. Oh. So Amber Heard's lied. I don't know what happened between when she got this claim in March, when she first got sued, up until September, October, when she finally got the insurance company. I don't know whether they prorated back to the beginning or whether she had to pay Eric George on her own. I don't know that, but I know they spent one hell of a lot of money. So here is a request for not that one. Hold on, guys. I gotta get the right order. Oh, well, here's this part. I'll show you this real quick. This is what they refer to. The insurer is not liable for loss caused by a willful act of the insurer, but he is not exonerated by the negligence of the insured or the insured's agent or other. So again, they're saying they don't have to pay for a willful tort. We'll see on that one. Now I want Microsoft Word. Okay, I gotta see what these titles are. So Travelers, now that we have all these insurance, this case is finished. They filed. The judge said, okay, we're going to set up the calendar. You're going to have till this date to do discovery for each other, this date to finish discovery, this date to get your expert witnesses, this date to do this, that, and the other. And Travelers came back and said, wait. I've had to go, I have had to do so much. Oh, wait a minute. I just saw something crack me up. What was this? It was, don't worry. Your money's at the left back quarter of the money pile. The clerk was lazy and grabbed it from the front closest to the door. So I didn't pay anything toward Amber Heard's fees. Thank you. That makes me feel better. Really makes me feel better. Thank you, Ardo. Anyway, so this is Pamela Johnson finally. Let's just look. I've been tied up with this court. I've been going every single day, right? We've seen her every single day. I'm not going to be ready to follow this schedule. I need what they call a stay. We have to freeze everything in this trial. This is the Travelers versus New York Marine right here. We have to freeze everything in this trial so I can finish up the defamation trial with all the work I'm having to do behind the scenes. You know, she's really apparently important in this case. So I found this interesting, and I want to give a shout out to, hold on guys, give a proper shout out to Catherine McCarthy on Twitter. Kath McCarthy 77 was the one who caught this. And she said, Laura, read through this document. I mean, I had the documents and I'd scanned some earlier ones, but this is the newest one that got uploaded. And she goes, you better take a look at this. And this is 12 pages. I don't think we'll have to read all of it. Introduction, relief is requested. This is an insurance coverage case regarding an underlying high-profile defamation case, which is being tried now in Virginia at the time of this filing. Travelers Claim professional is staying in rental. This is the woman that we saw. She is staying in a rented place in Virginia, not Minnesota, where she lives and works, in order to monitor the trial and to assist the insured and her attorneys full-time. The trial is expected to go until May 27th, 7 weeks, and she expects to remain there the entire time. This is all cost now. I don't think this is anything Amber's, but this is what the insurance company is providing. Since she is not at her office and she is monitoring the trial and working with the defense team all day, she cannot effectively assist travelers in responding to detailed document and other discovery from ProSite, which is due in 2 weeks. ProSite is New York Marine. 2 weeks. Travelers needs her help, and absent from relief from this court, it cannot get it. Also, ProSite's pending discovery probes into privileged and otherwise confidential matters, the disclosure of which could prejudice the insured, Amber Heard, in the ongoing underlying trial, if not deferred until after the conclusion of the trial. I don't know what they're trying to get. It could be, notes, legal notes, attorney conversations or something. I don't know, but they're scared to death it'll be made public. She's asking for this relief to allow travelers the fair ability to respond to discovery with the essential assistance of the responsible claim professional to prevent the risk of prejudice to Amber Heard, and to give ProSite, New York Marine, access to as much discovery as reasonable. Travelers seeks to briefly stay, which means to pause, to stop this insurance case, and to vacate the January 3rd, 2023 trial and the current deadlines until the conclusion of the trial. Lots of times deadlines count back from the trial date. The current deadlines until the conclusion of the trial in the underlying action, this is the defamation case, and until a further order of the court to be entered in July, which is when they expected the verdict. Alternatively, this is when they're guessing when the verdict would be. Travelers request that the court order that all current deadlines and dates are extended by 6 months. The underlying action has been and continues to be vigorously litigated. Are you ready, guys? Vigorously litigated by the parties there, resulting in more than $8 million in attorneys' fees and expenses. More than $8 million. The underlying action involves compelling privacy concerns of the parties, mutual insured, and is a matter of media interest, and it is being litigated pursuant to a protective order entered in the case. We're going to have a declaration of Pamela Johnson. She's the agent that's been there. That's the one we want to see. Travelers and ProSite, or New York Marine, each have an obligation to protect their mutual insured's, Amber Heard's interest in maintaining her privacy to the extent possible and her right to a fair and effective trial without risking public exposure of hypersensitive information during trial. In this case, ProSite has propounded written discovery to Travelers, which demands a copy of Travelers' entire claim regarding the underlying action. ProSite also demands copies of all communication with defense counsel. Legal say this document demands implicate the insured's right to privacy, implicate Amber Heard's. Yeah, she was staying in a rental. I wonder who's paying that rental too. Anyway, needless to say, this file is going to implicate the Amber Heard's right to privacy as well as her attorney-client privilege. There you go. So I guess it's pretty good. Travelers is on the inside of that privilege under the common interest doctrine because it's support the defense. To the extent that New York Marine contends that it has no duty to defend the insured under the circumstances of this case because they agreed Cameron McAvoy should be the only attorney or at least the lead attorney, and they were being ignored. So he said, no, we're not responsible for this. ProSite, in fact, recently filed a counterclaim, which contends just that. That's right. So Travelers sues New York Marine. I'll give you a little update. New York Marine files to have it dismissed. Judge does dismiss it. There's some interesting things in that, but leaves it open for Travelers to re-amend and refile, which they did. Hey, Sergio. How are you? Thanks to see you here. ACL footing some of the combinations. Yeah, maybe. I don't know for sure. So New York Marine countersued them. So now we've got Travelers Insurance suing New York Marine suing Travelers, New York Marine suing Amber Heard. Then we also got after this was filed around the same time, we do have a protective order. So a lot of the things that she's complaining about here are now been protected. For their part, New York Marine, ProSite, interrogatories and its request for admissions probe deeply into Travelers' contentions and the evidence supporting them. Some of the facts required to respond are uniquely within the knowledge of one person, Pamela Johnson, the Travelers' claim professional responsible for this case from its inception. Travelers cannot effectively respond to New York Marine ProSite's discovery, and it would be unfair to require it to try without the active participation of Miss Johnson, who she's saying is too busy at the trial. We need her. We can't get her. It's not our fault. I'm not looking at the cameras because I'm looking at comments. I'll do my best here. Oh, gosh, I hope not. I hope not. Miss Johnson's practical unavailability also affects Travelers' ability to respond to ProSite's or New York Marine's document demands during the frenetic pretrial and trial period in this underlying action. Miss Johnson's assistance in ensuring that it is properly updated and organized and essential to Travelers adequately responding to ProSite's or New York Marine's demands. So let's jump forward a little bit on this. In fairness to Travelers and in fairness to the insured, Amber Heard requires a pause in this insurance case. So these are the dates. So May 2nd is where they're supposed to provide discovery to New York Marine. May 2nd. April 11th. Now, this was filed a while ago. This was filed April 18th. Okay. April 11th was when the trial was going to happen. This is, look, between April 11th and May 2nd, you know, our representative sitting in this case isn't going to have time to meet your discovery demands. But then we have our discovery cut off in October. Mediation. See, a lot of these dates all back count from the trial date. Obviously, New York Marine is like, I'm not going to cooperate with you. I'm done. I'm tired of cooperating with you. So let's look at, you know, they want this day. They want all the dates delayed another 6 months. So let's look at this is what's going to be interesting. Pamela Johnson's declaration. This is the woman who's been sitting in court every day. She's employed by Travelers. She is at the count. In March, Ms. Heard was sued for defamation by her former husband. They're going to have a copy of it. Big deal. The matter was tendered for defense and indemnity to Travelers and as well to the defendant in this insurance action, New York Marine and General Insurance Company. At all times, I have been the claim professional for Travelers with primary responsibility for handling the defense. Travelers agreed to defend Ms. Heard under reservation of rights. ProSite, New York Marine did the same. Are you ready? Underlying action has been very hotly litigated. Travelers has spent more than $8 million in attorney's fees and expenses defending Ms. Heard. This has included paying law firms in Virginia, New York, California for extensive discovery and other work. So now they're up to $8 million. This has been a very challenging and time-consuming case for litigants, the lawyers, and for me. It is required, and it continues to require, an extraordinary commitment of my time and attention. I'm not sure what she's doing there, to be honest. I don't know how she's helping defense. Throughout the case, I had been in frequent contact with Ms. Heard and her chosen attorneys who are defending her. I have been an active part of the defense team. Here it gets interesting. on April 11, 2022, trial began in the underlying action. The first week of trial just finished. I was here every day. Trial is expected to go until May 27th, 7 weeks. I plan to continue to monitor the trial in person full time. To do this, I'm staying in a rented place near the courthouse in Fairfax County, Virginia, where I expect to stay the entire 7 weeks. This is far from my home and office in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm providing travelers and ProSite, New York Marine, with daily reports regarding the progress of the trial. I also continue to support the defense. I'm wondering if she's the one who got that $22,000 a month house on the insurance cost, and Amber stayed with her. Here we go. This week, for example, can you read that? This week, for example, I was able to assist in getting an adverse witness disqualified by discovering via social media research that she had been following the testimony of other witnesses. When the court had ordered that no witness could read or listen to any part of the trial prior to the testimony, in short, my support role in Ms. Hurt's defense is substantive. It's also ongoing. She is claiming that she was sole responsibility for finding out that Gina Deuters was on social media. Now, we know what happened. I was in the courtroom, so maybe I could see things you couldn't see on camera. But Eve Barlow was running around with her phone, and I think she was talking to this woman. They brought the phone to Ben Rottenborn, and on it was a cropped IG post of Gina Deuters that showed that she was looking at the trial. But actually, it was cropped because they cropped the date off of it. It had been like over a year prior. But that was disconcerting and confusing to everybody because that was not shown to Gina when she was on the stand. So it was brought to Ben. Ben brought it up to the front with Elaine. That caused Judge Azcarate to ask, had you been on social media? Had you been, she goes, what, you can't miss it. I mean, I haven't really watched anything, but it would go by me and you can't miss it. And Gina Deuters was disqualified. And we know it was, Eve Barlow submitted that cropped picture. Interesting enough, of course, we find this out too in the hearing, but interesting enough, there's a hearing that Friday. Thursday, Eve Barlow posts from California. She is no longer in Fairfax. And the Friday of the hearing, Eve Barlow is yeeted. I love how L.A.D. Baker says that. Yeeted from the court for exactly that. Not only did she show the crop picture, but then she was moved to the back, and then she continued to live tweet while in the courtroom, and so she was expelled. And this agent, Travelers Agents, is taking credit for getting Gina Deuters dismissed. The underlying action has been great media interest. To help provide the litigants with some privacy protection, the court has entered a protective order, which we know about, which Judge Azcarate says ends when the trial starts. So all these things that Elaine has filed to maintain under seal, Judge Azcarate is saying, trial's over, protective orders expired. Anything that's there, I'm going to unseal for appeal. In the insurance case, ProSite, New York Marine, has served travelers with 1, document demands, 2, requests for admissions, and 3, interrogatories. Accurate copies of these are attached here on Exhibit 3, Exhibit 4, Exhibit 5. New York Marine ProSite also demands copies of all communications with defense counsel. Well, they have a right to, they're supposed to be up to date on defense counsel. That's what happened with Cameron McAvoy. These demands raise concerns on my part and Traveler's part of the insured's right to privacy as well as her attorney-client privilege. So let me understand this. And this is the frustration with New York Marine. They had a lawyer of Amber's choice. They were paying for that lawyer. Amber decided to go with the show ponies, the lobster and the fillet, and the baked Alaska. She decided to go with Robbie Kaplan and Ben Rottenborn. And then when Robbie left, she went with Elaine Bredehoft. They had a perfectly good attorney that they ignored. Then those attorneys who would not work with Cameron McAvoy worked with this insurance agent. Now, the insurance agents, both of them are supposed to be involved. And now Travelers is saying, I'm not going to share anything with New York Marine because that avoids the privacy to our insured. Well, your insured is his insured. That's why he's upset with y'all. ProSite interrogatories, Exhibit 4 or 5, probe Travelers' contentions and the evidence supporting them. Well, they're right to that. Some of the facts required to respond are uniquely within my knowledge, and Travelers can't effectively respond to this discovery without my active participation, and she can't leave the courtroom. As indicated above, I'm tied up in Virginia, and I will be for the next several weeks, estimated through May 27th, with a full-time job monitoring the underlying trial. My unavailability also affects Travelers' abilities to respond to ProSite's document demands. During the pretrial and trial period, the claim file has been in constant and substantial flux. I have work to do to ensure that it is properly updated and organized prior to the production to ProSite. Word salad. They just want to keep everything hidden. I estimate that this will take days, if not weeks, on my part after the trial. Producing the claim material is a multi-step process. After I update it, Travelers will perform computer searches through its internal e-discovery team. Then it will provide the material to its outside e-discovery vendor to process, and on and on and on. Process is time consuming. Yes, yes, yes. Poor me. For all these reasons, I think you need to do this. So we have the declaration of the attorney. We don't have any of the attachments. But let's take a look. And this was being reported, and this was confusing me. So let's see what's happening here. She's going to be fired. You mean the Travelers agent? Something's messed up there. Not a Pamela fan. She got to think. I'm wondering, I mean, we have no way of knowing if that house that she rented is the one Amber stayed in, but it's seemingly like this Travelers agent has some deep pockets. Maybe she was riding the high-profile stars' coattails a little bit much, thinking that they were going to come out and win, and she was going to get all this glory herself. I don't know. I have not heard anything about Warner Brothers suing Amber. If there's something out there, let us know. All right, so let's see what's happened. So she's demanding a stay, that she can't possibly get this done because she's so incredibly important to, am I here? Right, I got the right one? Yes. So this is Travelers suing New York, Maine. The complaint was July 20th, 2021, a long time ago. So they have all these things that they got to go through. Proof of service and all that. New York Marine filed a motion to dismiss the case. We'll be going over all this if you're interested, but these are pretty heavy-duty legal documents right now. Then on August 26th, Travelers gets to file the opposition of the motion to dismiss. It does get dismissed. It actually does get dismissed, and then they refile an amended claim. So it gets dismissed and it's back in. So we have the opposition of notice or motions to dismiss the case. Again, New York files to dismiss it. Travelers opposes it. It gets amended. They oppose it again. And then New York Marine gets to reply. And then there's hearings back and forth. We'll cover this, but this is just for today. And then we get into status report, requesting further orders on the defendants, more status reports, more meetings. We're getting into January of this year now. More hearings, more transcripts. This will be a lot of fun for me to read because a lot of these were not updated until now. Supplemental notion why it should get dismissed. They're still pushing to get this dismissed. Another opposition against getting it dismissed. An objection to something that's in there, to the opposition, like you shouldn't be able to amend it again, maybe. And then, wow, February of this year, we're into more meetings. February, more meetings. March, we're having it in chambers. There's a joint report for the discovery plan. And then we have the filing of more transcripts, more meetings. Finally, remember, it was dismissed. It was refiled, corrected. Now New York Marine on March 25th of this year, they have filed their answer to Travelers, and they've also counterclaimed. So they've counterclaimed against them. More hearings. Another amended answer. This is the amended answer now regarding the counterclaim filed by the plaintiff, which is filed by Travelers. Then we have the Exparte application. Please, 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 you have to stay this. You have to stay this case. That's what we just read. No, I'm not going to stay the case. No, you have to stay the case. I mean, New York Marine says, no, you can't stay the case. You have to. They end up with a joint stipulated protective order. And this is the order. They write, when someone wants something done, they write the order and they want the judge to sign it. And look, it says denied. People are reporting that the case was stayed, but from what I can see, it's been denied. They wrote the order up. I think that's what makes people think it's okay that all the current dates are going to be pushed for 6 months, etc. But it says denied. It says it was not. So that's where we're at. Let me take a quick look here before I got another from Mrs. J. Rice. I've got to find you. There you are. Thanks. You're doing an amazing analyst. I hope so. I hope I haven't run too far afield, but these are tough. They're just arguments that they need to be refereed. They want the judge to say, just tell us who has to pay what and how much, basically, is what they're doing. And the latest on is this the right one? Yes, New York Marine filed against Amber Heard on July 8th. We can go through that another time, but basically they filed against her. They amended their complaint. As far as I know, they've served her. Let's see. As of yesterday. Okay, so they've served her, but she has 21 days to answer, so we don't have her. We don't have her answer. We don't have her lawyers. We don't know who's going to be representing her in this. But the last thing that was filed is that they said, hey, the judge that received this says, I don't want it. There's another case already going on. It calls for determination of the same or substantially same related or similar questions, and for other reasons, which would entail substantial duplication, which it would. And they're like, Judge, take our case over. We're going to send it over to you. You can deal with both of these cases at the same time. Well, 3 cases, because there's a countersuit. So there's a suit, a countersuit, and now the suit against Amber. So now it's all gone to this. We're out of here. We're done. And that's pretty much what's happened. Let me answer questions. That's a synopsis without reading a lot of documents. I hope this makes sense. I don't think court documents can be filed on a bankruptcy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to file bankruptcy. Oh, here's something from what I'm getting all of this. Both insurance companies have paid for all this defense, hoping that she'd win, hoping that the cost of their defense would be far cheaper than any demands, right? They spent $8 million. Her damage is now 3.6, right? If you subtract the 2 million. So they're not breaking clean here. I mean, they lost like double. So Travelers, with all that their glory did, if they just followed what New York Marine did, who knows? Maybe McElroy and Cameron and McAvoy would have done a better job. But thank God it ended the way this for us, right? This is how we want it to end. So this money is only for the defense. It's not about the damages. So now we have damages. And the way they're fighting so hard, it makes me think Travelers is on the hook for damage to Johnny. And that's a good thing. So we have $1 million from New York Marine that's fighting it based on California law, that it's an intentional tort. Travelers is fighting against that, which makes me think they're on the hook somehow. And that's a way for Johnny to get some of his money. Now, we don't know. I mean, New York Marine's only $1 million, but maybe Travelers is $5 million. Maybe they're $10 million. This is a way for Johnny to get his money. So I hope he now knows about this. I'm sure his team does. I mean, who am I? I'm sure his team does. That he needs to pursue this judgment if there's insurance money that's coming to him. So I hope he does that. I really do. I'm going to go backwards here. $8 million includes, expert testimony, all the costs, which I assume would include the insurance agent having to travel and stuff. My notifications are going crazy. If you hear the buzzing, I'm sorry. I'm trying to put it on the towel. They are not subtracting. You're right. I was just talking in general. They've purposely separated because there's 2 options to appeal, in my opinion. Johnny can appeal his $2 million, which wouldn't go to her. She could appeal the full $10 million. If Johnny doesn't appeal, then he's supposed to pay her the $2 million. He could pay the $2 million. If he pursues a judgment, he can pay the $2 million and judge it back to him, attach her earnings or income and say, now you got to give it back to me. But yeah, you're right. They are separate unless they work out a deal where she doesn't appeal and they work out some payment deal where she agrees to apply the $2 million. They can still work out some kind of a deal. Oh, please don't do that to me. They're talking about what happened to Tug with swatting. They call in and claim that you've got somebody hostage. You're doing some terrible, you've got drugs and you're doing something terrible, meth lab. And they send the SWAT team out after you. It's not cool. It's not cool. So no appeal. We don't know. We know she's shut down in Fairfax. She has nothing left. Her only option is to appeal or pay Johnny. Now here's her options. She can appeal it for about $500 and hope Johnny doesn't come for the money, which he should, especially now that he knows his insurance involved. He darn well, I hope he does. If she doesn't want to hand him over money, which the insurance company is going to say, no, put up the bond. So then the question is, will the insurance put up the bond for her with the risk of losing it? That's the next thing. It's going to be interesting to see how there's a protective order in place now. So we'll see what else comes in these things that I'm reading. My head was spinning the other day. Thank you so much, Deanna. I so appreciate it. Next motion, what? Judge Penny influenced by social media? No, it's done. Final motion, July 15th, she no longer has jurisdiction over this anyway. I can't imagine it's going to be anything else. Yeah, I don't know. This is something that happened to Tug. I think it happened to a few people. I don't know the ins and outs of it. So I told you what swatting was. Mr. Upper Torso. Love it. I have to admit, it's fun to see this case continue now that JD has untangled himself from it. Now it's time to see all of Amber's litigious closet skeletons. You're right. I'm so upset. I mean, thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so upset that it didn't cost her anything. She got up there whining and crying how broke she is. I'm a mother with a baby. I can't donate. I can't pay my legal fees. And nothing. She's paid nothing. Well, I have to quantify that. I don't know what happened from day one to when she filed the insurance claim. I don't know if it's retroactive. I don't know because since it relates to the claim and they're accepting the claim, it could be they're accepting expenses from the start of the claim. I don't know that. Crazy. I don't know that. Bye-bye, Kay. She can't go bankrupt. I don't know what's going to happen with the bankruptcy. She don't have to worry about the attorney fees. She goes bankrupt, she doesn't have to pay attorneys. Well, her attorneys are paid. She goes bankrupt, she can't dissolve the judgment. Well, I think it's up to the bankruptcy judge to decide whether this can be included or not. That's the last I heard. There's always more that meets the eye with Amber. If Pam rented that house for $22,000 a month, that would not reflect well on her. No, I don't think the company will be very happy about it either. But they're supposed to provide Amber Heard with a defense, and the defense is in a state she doesn't live in. Maybe they are part of the expenses they're supposed to cover. What does it mean undenied? Amber Heard filed in Fairfax this week to have the verdict set aside, or at least the damages reduced, or at least to declare a mistrial altogether because of a juror, and Judge Azcarate has denied her on everything. Oh, Yellow Flash was also swatted. I think Rakita, I think there's a couple. They were online when it happened. She can file bankruptcy, but Johnny's claim won't be dismissed because of malice. Yeah, I think it depends on the bankruptcy judge in the end to decide what can get dismissed. I think that's how. Vegan Lion, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, Maureen versus Amber was just filed. So there's the 2 lawsuits plus the counterclaim, and now they're all going to be heard by. They're not conjoined yet. Conjoined, that's not a legal word. I know it's when you join them together. They haven't done that yet, but it's possible they could do that. They did that with her London Fields, where everybody was suing each other. They were suing her, they were suing the producer, they were suing the director, and vice versa, and they ended up joining all those together. So far, Tug has not covered anything on the WB suit. I do fear a discovery hit piece will come out. So you're saying there really is a lawsuit. I'm going to have to find this. Oh. You're saying there really is a lawsuit? I've got this. Okay, there's another sticker down here somewhere. Well, where'd you go? Lisa and Glenn. I don't know what the A is. I'm not sure what country they thank you so much for all your hard work over the years. Oh, Australia. You're truly love from Australia. Hey, we're waiting for good news to come from Europe down under pretty soon. It's happening, they say. They say it's happening. We will love it. Quartering was swatted. Please don't swat me. What's the deadline for her to appeal? July 24th. She's been filing notices as far as her documents and things like that. I don't know if she has to file a specific form. I've seen copies of them, but she's filed notice. She's verbally told them. So maybe that they've done all that they have to do. And we just have to keep checking the Court of Appeals site to see if she shows up. I think, did somebody say that she has to file the bond with Fairfax County? I think. I'm not sure if it's that or the actual appeals court. The more Amber fights, the more her inner ugliness and darkness affects her outward appearance. Youth and beauty fade to hate, rage, and the spite of narcissism. Whew. Yes. Okay, Phil. Thank you for the update. I was completely off Diet Coke for ages, and it was only since the trial I got back on it because I was getting no sleep, sleeping on the concrete. I wasn't eating properly, and the Diet Coke, the bubbles, the taste woke me up because I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker. So, yeah, I do have to get back off of it, and it is addictive. I know it is. But thank you for the health warning. Elaine and H claims in closing the H paid out, but they knew all along. Elaine knew she was being paid by the insurance company. Now, Ben Rottenberg, and we haven't gone over these documents. Elaine is mentioned, Robbie Kaplan is mentioned, and Cameron McAvoy is mentioned as being chosen by Amber. Then I showed you that accepted by New York Marine. But it doesn't mention Ben Rottenberg, so I don't know if he knew how. I'm sure he put all his bills through Elaine's office. Or maybe he did through Kaplan's office and then it got switched over to Elaine's office. Maybe he didn't know. I can't believe he wouldn't know. I can't believe it wouldn't have come up. But, let's just say maybe he didn't. July 24th is the deadline. Yeah, they don't give you much time to decide. I think that's the hard part, too. When Johnny was in the UK, he also had a deadline to ask for permission. And, the beer bug was still so strong and he had trouble getting his discovery. He couldn't get what he needed, from ACL and the LA Children's Hospital. And when he did, she marked it confidential. So then he had to get the Fairfax courts to ex parte order to declassify it. So yeah, he was having a lot of trouble getting stuff over and for the appeal. And he was just so rushed because look at how much more he has now. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, Tug is very close to it. He's in a small town like I am. He's very close to his law enforcement there. She's minus $6 million. Yeah, that's what it says on site. But now we know that she didn't pay anything for her fees. I think that might have been based on the fact that she said, I paid $6 million for my legal fees. Well, you didn't pay crap. I think pay crap. Thank you, Laura, for your hard work. Thanks, Charlene. I so appreciate it. She paid her ex-friends to lie, I reckon. Well, maybe they were agreeing to lie because they were living free in those apartments. Maybe they agreed to lie because Io wanted to get back at Johnny. Maybe there was some motivations. Why did Josh suddenly turn? Josh had talked to Adam and completely said it was a hoax, completely said that Raquel was hiding in the closet, completely said that she was fooling around with Elon, completely said they were having a threesome, and then all of a sudden he gets on the stand and it's a different story after he's had some meet and greets with Amber. Her group is abhorrent. Dauber, I think that's you say Dauber, Barlow, Elaine, the PR companies, and her lies of being broke. I cannot figure out Eve Barlow. I really can't. I keep calling her Dobby, where Master gave the sock and she's free. And I don't think she realized she wants to be free. But she was gone. I mean, she posted from California. I said April 14th, April 15th, she was officially booted. And I don't know how much contact she's had with Amber. I mean, obviously lots can go behind the scene, but there's been nothing seemingly positive about Eve and Amber, and Eve is just fighting tooth and nail for Amber. I mean, the only thing I can think of is because she wants to get back in Amber's good graces. I don't know. She did a recent Substack, which is free if you want to Google Eve Barlow Substack. Don't pay for it. But her most recent one, she talks about how she's been home for 5 weeks. She's all by herself. Nobody wants her. She has no friends. She has no work. It's a real sob story. Andrea Burkhart, I love. She came on here with me. Please follow her channel. She does super in-depth legal stuff that I can't even begin to reach. I can go through all of these researches and these law tubers and then come back with a real person's opinion. And that's the best I can do. Although a lot of the documents are very much written in comfortable English that we can go through them. This insurance contract ones might be a little bit tricky. Hi, Bear. Thank you so much. Laura, requests to the court usually include a sample order to make the judge's job easier and to curry favor. I agree. They're writing it the way they want it to come, too. They this is all the things. Here, judge, let me just make it easy for you. Just sign off. Just sign this for me. Boom, denied. We saw this with Johnny when they were trying to get, Johnny was trying to get Amber Heard's full HIPAA release. And he wrote the order out, and the judge crossed off that he was only entitled to things that revolved around her actual claim of abuse. He couldn't get her other mental, it was for specifically mental, couldn't get other mental reports on her, only what things that specifically said to abuse. Teresa! I met Teresa from Portugal in line, and we were just best buds. We were together all the time. Yeah. Laura, Teresa, I miss you. I'm so glad you came by. Yeah, thank you. I hope the insurance does not put up the bond since you lost a defamation case. Well, again, yeah, they have to think this out. I don't know what they're on the hook for. New York Marine's $1 million if that's what the judge rules. New York Marine is saying, no, it's intentional tort. I'm not going to pay. So that's $1 million. I'm going to pour through these documents as much as I can to see if we can somehow find out what Traveler's ceiling is. If they put up the bond and Amber Heard wins somehow, they don't have to pay out the judgment. I think at some point they got to cut their losses. They've already paid $8 million. They've already paid $8 million. Why do they want to risk paying another $8.5 or $10.5 million? Plus all the interest, remember. Why do they want to risk? Because if they put up the bond and Amber loses, that money goes right to Johnny. The insurance company can't claw it back then. Claw it back. It's gone. And what did we say that, I don't know if I have it quickly available. New York Marine says they paid almost $650,000 out of they have a $1 million cap. They've already paid $650,000 or thereabouts toward. They're like, oh, we're done. We're out of here. We're not going to be hit for more than we can save $400,000, not pay out this $1 million right now. Case is final in Fairfax, officially July 15th. But as of right now, she said final order. There's another order on all the sealed filings. It's on the courthouse. Did it just cut up? Did it just come up? Let's look. I love when things happen while we're online. Let's see. High profile case. We have another order. We officially have on the website. Yay! Order. The protective order in this matter has been put in place to protect sensitive information and ensure. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys. So there is a protective order. Now we saw the one that everybody took a screen cap and posted. So we got that one up. Let's see what this one says now about unsealing stuff. I get to be surprised. You all read it already. I get to be surprised. This is it, I think. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys. The protective order in this, there was a protective order in this matter was put in place to protect sensitive information and to ensure an untainted jury. In this matter, both litigants sued one another because it was a counterclaim, thereby opening themselves up to public forum of a jury trial. Court records are public information. This case is now concluded, and therefore the court carefully reviewed all the documents that were filed under seal. It appearing to the court that certain filings in this matter should be unsealed, it is therefore ordered the following documents be unsealed. Counterclaim plaintiff, defendant's disclosure of expert witnesses, plaintiff's motion to compel the independent medical examination. We all knew, we all suspected that had happened and had been approved, granted maybe in part. Reply memorandum in support of defendant's supplemental plea and bar. Defendant's motion to compel an independent ME exam against plaintiff, which was denied. Second notification of judicial notice of adjudicated facts and law impacting this matter, filed July 7th, 2021. Defendant's opposition to motion to compel independent medical examination of defendant. How many are there? Is it everything? Is there anything that's not? Let's go through. Is there anything not? Further ordered the following documents to remain sealed. Okay, so we do have some that are staying sealed. Attachment 5 to defendant's disclosure of expert witnesses for containing a home address. Exhibit E of plaintiff's motion to compel an independent medical examination of defendant for containing personal contact information. I wonder if this is going to be sealed or just redacted. Exhibits, well, it's attachment, so maybe it's a bill or something. Exhibits 3 to 5 of defendant's opposition to motion to compel an independent and IME of defendant for containing sensitive personal medical information. So that is being sealed. Exhibits 1 to 6 of defendant's memorandum in support of motion to compel an IME of plaintiff for containing sensitive personal medical information. So there's stuff on Johnny that was denied. Attachment 3 to plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to compel an IME of plaintiff. So Johnny filed back something that says, no, you can't do it. It includes a home address. Attachment 3 to defendant's memorandum in support of motion to compel. Read all these responses for identifying contact information. I don't know why she cares now. She put everybody's subpoena out there. She says, Johnny, she put into motion, we need to know everybody who knows anything about this case. We need her name and address or whatever. Johnny sends it back. She comes back with another RFP that's not sealed and says, hey, we got all these addresses here, but we're missing these and these. She showed the whole world everybody's home address and phone number. Exhibits 8, 33, and 45 to defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion to compel further forensic. This is the imaging of her thing, of her, I'm all excited here. This is me. Of her phones and everything. It contains personal medical information and personal contact information. To further compel forensic imaging and production of testing data expert documents and expansion of order forensic imaging. 9th and 12th request. They include personal medical information. Attachment 3 to defendant's opposition for plaintiff's motion for sanctions and cross motion for sanctions for containing personal medical information. The cross sanctions and cross motions were both denied. We never knew what they were for. The motion must have been sealed to start with. Attachments, opposition for a summary judgment counterclaim of defendant for containing identifying personal contact information. Defendant's opposition to plaintiff. So Amber filed it. Defendant's memorandum, Amber's memorandum in support of motions in limine for containing a confidential settlement discussion. So that is going to stay sealed. Exhibit 30, defendant's memorandum in support of motions in limine for containing personal identifying information. Containing a privilege log with personal identifying information. 10 for containing confidential settlement discussions. I'm not surprised they settled or they had a meeting. There was pictures of Johnny in the basement parking garage of his lawyer's building, and they said he was there for like 8 hours. I'm almost positive that they were having some kind of settlement discussions, and look where we're at. Thank God Johnny stood his ground. That's my opinion. Exhibit 55, containing personal identifying contact information. Motion in limine 16, contact information. Limine 20 for contact information. Dr. Curry's personal medical evaluation attached to plaintiff's designation ID of key witnesses, of expert witnesses. Days sealed. I'm sure that would have been great reading for all of us. Plaintiff's opposition to defendant motion in limine for personal contact information. More personal contact information. More personal contact information. I don't know why they couldn't just redact it. But maybe it's just attachment 7. Maybe it's just like the name and address, just a statement, period. Post-trial motions based on additional discovered facts, including containing juror information. Well, we knew that was going to be sealed. And this was filed July 8th, so it must be about juror 15. Or it could be just, no, July 8th would have been the juror 15. That's it? That is it. Wow, we read it first. Maybe we did. Maybe we did. Let me see if there's any super chats here I've got to grab. I so appreciate it. Lisa England, thank you so much for your hard work over the years. You were truly amazing. Love from Australia. Thank you so much. I don't know if I got that before. I don't think I did. Trying to get some questions. I have one here. Hello from India. I'm trying to find you. Hang in there. This is not a good system. This is why some people go back out to YouTube and do this. Can you do a video on unsealed documents? I think what's going to happen is they're going to be unsealed and they're going to sit in the file office in Fairfax. It's going to be really impossible to do without going there in person and saying, hey, can I see what documents are unsealed and do I want to buy them? I have to buy them, I have to apply for them. So I don't think it's something that's going to be easily done online. Let me find somebody here. You're here somewhere. While I was talking. Why can't I can see Vishwak Kasturi. Hello from India. Have you heard if Travelers is going to sue Amber for recovery of the fees and expenses paid? I would expect they wouldn't be filing New York Marine. I would expect they would have joined them to do that. I need to have a chat with a certain woodworker. That's true. And we have a lot in common because I just saw his video on showing off his workspace, and my husband is a big time woodworker. They'd have a lot in common. Yeah, maybe he could get the documents for us. I cannot find the super chat. And I can click on it and read it, but I can't put it to the window. I'm sorry. Oh, don't like the system. But I will find you. So we've got Amber Heard shut down. Johnny Free doing his music. July 15th, his album comes out. Pre-order it. I'm sorry, I can't find your super chat. I'm looking. Like I said, I can read it. I just can't click it on the screen. I'm so sorry. It should stand right out. Lisa in the Glen. There. I mean, it's chartreuse. Ah, there you are. Vishwak. I'm not gonna say that right. Hello from India. Have you heard if Travelers is going to sue Amber for recovery of the fees? Oh, I hope I don't choke myself. That's what I find so interesting about this, that Travelers is fighting so hard and not piggybacking with New York Marine to get out of this. I've got a storm coming. We'll see how long I can last. Wish Johnny had insurance. Yes, I do too, but I asked about this. Apparently, when you bring a claim, who told me this? I don't know if it's Christopher Melcher or Andrea Burr. I love that I can ask these people questions. They're so awesome. I don't know if it's Andrea or Christopher that said, if you start the claim, you're bringing the claim, you don't get home insurance, but you don't get insurance coverage. The insurance coverage is to help you defend the claim. So if he could have somehow broken out the costs for defending the counterclaim, maybe that's a possibility. And I don't know if he has the insurance or not. But that's my understanding. It's the defense of a claim. She's on the hook for $16 million. No, her insurance, I mean, she can't get they don't have to ask for the money back. The insurance defended her. That money's gone. They can't get it back from Amber. The only thing they have to decide on is if they're going to put up the bond, or if they're the suspension bond, or if they're just going to wait and see if she goes through the appeal on her own. And, if she can put up the whole bond herself, or she's going to pray and hope that Johnny doesn't come after her. Hey, Steve, I like that you give real information. I appreciate it. I know how hard it's to find facts online. Yeah, I really look for it. I really try. One of the things I prided myself on was in that last video where I found the Chesapeake County juror's summons image, and it had no date of birth on it. And they're right next to each other. I mean, the jurisdictions are right next to each other. I'd be surprised if they weren't doing something similar. So I thought that was kind of cool. They are also selling on vinyl. Did I miss that? Oh, vinyl comes in September. I went to click and then I had some join in. Why can't I send this? Anyone know why I can't send a super chat but can send them to others? I don't know. I've been getting them, so they're there. Maybe someone can say in the comments how they're doing it, because I am receiving them. Yeah, I would love to know what her max is. Do you think it's 10 million? It's homeowners. It's homeowners insurance, and the house she owns, she bought for like $575,000 or something. So I can't imagine she'd have such a huge homeowners ceiling unless she's combined it with an umbrella policy. With an umbrella policy, you can pick any amount you want. The New York Marine was a bit commercial policy on her loan out company. I'd love to know how high it was. Maybe we'll eventually find it in the documents. Yeah, for defamation, it pays for your defense. Yeah, interesting. Now, as far as the judgment, that's the occurrence. The judgment is the occurrence. They don't pay that until it happens. After it happens, that's the judgment. But both these policies say they pay for defense. So the occurrence, the $1 million cap, is not on her defense. That's why they're in the hole for so much, or so so Travelers wants them to believe. Remember, just to recap, Travelers let Amber Heard pick her counsel, and they paid for it deep pockets with no ceiling. And that was Robbie Kaplan, Ben Rottenborn dropped Robbie Kaplan, then they got Elaine. New York Marine said, no, you have to use our lawyer of our choice. And Amber goes, well, I'm using Cameron McAvoy. Let me check them out. Oh, yeah, you picked Cameron McAvoy. We like Cameron McAvoy. We'll keep using Cameron McAvoy, but they will be your lead attorneys out of Virginia. And they got shunned very soon after. I went through so many motions on Fairfax, and they're not in the list of defense for counsel list. They're not there. They're not there. Oh, Test. I wish I could get that back to you now, sweetie. You've been so good as a mod. It's been awesome having you. And yeah, the test worked. Thanks, Secret Miss Squirrel. I ordered the CD too. I like having it. Money 2489. Cheers to you, Laura B, for all your hard work and thorough research for keeping us all up to date. I'm not a lawyer. I know I can't do the same thing that the law tubers do, but I can help take all their collective information on top of my personal research and bring you the best information I can as a layperson. So I hope not to misdirect anyone. Worked on Nate's live. So far, New York Marine is saying, it's an intentional tort. We're not paying toward the damages. Travelers is arguing, oh, yes, you have to, which makes me think they're going to have to pay something to the damages. I pray and hope that Johnny goes after that money. Thank you again. Oh, I just got that one. Sorry, it moved around because more comments came in. Here we go. Secret Miss Squirrel. The lawyer you know is good too. Yes, in fact, I think he was I have him on notification. I probably missed it. I think he's doing one on contract law or insurance, how to read the insurance contract. I think that's what he's doing. No, what we think it was, we think the insurance is, it's for 1 year, but it renews itself. But here's what I was talking with Chris was, if the claim was started, if Johnny sued her March 1st, why did she wait until September 30th to put a claim in? And that's when Robbie Kaplan came in. So I think Robbie, this isn't only my speculation, that Robbie came in going, hey, I'll be your lawyer. This is how much I am. And Amber goes, I can afford you. And I think Robbie, being so experienced, said, hey, check with your insurance, your homeowner's insurance. They may cover it. So that's why I think, because it came in so late, but I think I think it's very common to have commercial business insurance and obviously your homeowner's insurance. It's that what feels like it's going to be a huge amount is something I'm not understanding. Milo Watlin, $20. Just getting to know you. I will see if I can find it. I would like a better system. I would like a better system. Let's see if I can find you. There you are. Just getting to know you. Thank you. I was on Andy at Popcorn Planet, and I got a lot of new subscribers, and I was so very thankful for that. That was so awesome to have put me over the 10,000. Right. Well, apparently there's two conflicting statements in these insurance policies. New York Marine says you use a lawyer of our choice. Travelers says we'll defend you against a lawyer of your choice. And again, that's the idea of serving two masters. You want to make sure that the lawyer, there's no cloudy area, that the lawyer only serves the client, not the travel agent. Well, it's already cloudy to me because that travel agent was there every single day helping in her defense. So I'm a little cloudy there already. A little cloudy. Ardo, I really like your take on things. We get enough legal analysis from the law tubers. I tell you, it's my new hobby. They teach me so much. Got a bit of a storm coming in. Darn, there is a YouTube video that went over how jury duty is done in Fairfax. Can't relocate it as is very informative. I wish I could find it. It might be on their site. It might be on their site themselves. Here's what I found interesting about the questionnaires, because when they were still arguing this, I was like, okay, they had to go online with this questionnaire. So I went back to the site Excuse me. Let me have my poison. Okay, so prospective jurors, as early for a year, they do this a year ahead of time, or for the year, they send out questionnaires for you to fill out. That doesn't mean you'll be picked for jury. You can complete those questionnaires online. When I had done my video, only a week or so ago, that page was there. And I brought it up and I showed you, look, you have a choice to complete your questionnaire online or in writing. What's interesting is it sounds like the son completed his dad's questionnaire. But when I go on the site now, it says you can no longer do online questionnaires. And I think it's because those questionnaires are good for the year. Like, they sent it out to their jury pool for the year. And if they need more, they'll summon more. But the questionnaires are done. You can't do this on anymore. MJ, the large settlement window is a good sign for JD. It looks like JD's not worried. The plaintiff is being allowed several months to consider settling. If he's not satisfied, he can file a new case. For Brooks. Yeah. I just think that they promised to do or not do something, and I think they just have to wait it out that that Rocky can't screw up or something. There's something there. New documentary out on it's all about the TikTok and the social media. I guess they think there's a story there. I'm doing great. Thank you. Much love from Australia. Yeah, I think you can order the record. Or CD or whatever. See if there's. I'm trying to get to everyone's questions. I know I'm not. It could have been my video. Did they seat the wrong juror? I think it is. And I went through the frequently asked questions for jury. I came up with the Chesapeake County jurors form, juror summons picture. Could be. First, sir, you on Annie's channel. Thank you. Thank you. Hamilton, I believe Uncivil Law stated that added defamation to her insurance, which is somewhat unusual. Thanks, Laura, for the fantastic job. Yeah, I don't know how unusual it is if both policies have it, but did she add the defamation from that year? Because when it renewed, I don't know. But I do like Uncivil Law. I do like it. Oh, well, the thought is there, and I really, really appreciate you so much. Yes, please subscribe. I'm still a growing channel. My analytics are like this. But no, please subscribe, join, share, comment. Comments good. I try to answer comments. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, but I do try. Tuggs says it's a hit piece on him and some others. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't think it's on me. I didn't come up enough. I agree, Grace. She needs to take her L's and leave it go, but she still wants her 15 minutes of fame. The judge is done with this case. It's over, and she lost. She's over. She's lost. They found her liable for intentional tort. She lied, and lied again. The jury felt it was not a hoax. She did so with malice. So that's it. I've been on an hour and 45 minutes. Let's see if we've got a few more questions. And I think I covered it all. Now, there's a lot more documents. If this is something that interest you, I'll bring out more. I won't read every single one of them. They're crazy. I'm not going to go through every single transcript, but I'll do my homework on this because I'd like to see Amber Heard pay Johnny Depp. That's my goal in this. I mean, I'm ready to be done with her, but I want Johnny to get his money. And I pray and hope that if his team now knows insurance involved, get your hand out there and grab what's yours. If the juror was registered to vote, then he was able to be a potential juror, and both sides accepted him. Yeah, I think father and son were both. I think when the questionnaire came in, the son assumed it was his. It was a blank questionnaire. He filled in with his own birth date, so they knew. Oh no, I don't cost you anything to subscribe. No, you just subscribe to my channel. It's not a members only channel. Just hit the subscribe button and you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell and you'll know when I put something new up. You'll know if I'm doing live streams, I guess, too. I post those on Twitter, but if you put notification up, I think you'll see that. But no, please, this is a free channel. I so appreciate the support, the financial support. I paid for a lot of documents. It looks like these documents I'll be paid for, but I'm not closing the door on people. I just so appreciate y'all very much. I'm like, need to be rewinds. You are part of our replay crew, and it will be up there. The only reason it's a media circus in the first place is because she simply couldn't keep her mouth closed after the divorce. Yep, she courted this. She got paid handsomely for her speeches too. Don't forget that. She's making a lot of money off of these false accusations. Okay. Oh, please, she knew she was doing. I bet the article was already in the works, or she knew the prospect of defamation. Let me tell you, I went through this timeline, and let me see if I can bring my Twitter up real quick. I went through the timeline that Johnny sued the UK. Then he did the GQ UK article. Who after the print version came back and corrected that they wrongfully attributed a comment that Johnny had admitted to harming Brooks, which he did not. They had to apologize for that. Here it is here. They had apologized for that. So he sued the UK. UK knew their best witness had to be Amber Heard. Had to be. That's the only way they're going to defend themselves was with Amber Heard. He does the GQ UK article. She sues him via arbitration in October of 2018. In the meantime, NGN is contacting Amber Heard. We need you to be a witness. I can't be a witness because Johnny has the confidentiality clause. I'm not allowed to. Well, we need to make you, and we're going to go to Johnny, and we're going to tell him he needs to release you. And that was November 29th, 2018. December, she does his op-ed with this title, and I'm telling you, this is how we read it, that she was threatening Johnny. If you make me go to the UK trial, I'm going to claim SA. I just am. And we all said, oh my God, she's going to Me Too him. How stupid am I? I do not follow Amber Heard on Instagram. And I forgot all about her Instagram account. So here we go. I go back, and on December 19th, so it's the day after her article, she does indeed post this. This is her tweet. Right? She took a screenshot of it. That means she saw the title. I don't know where this came from. Now, when you tweet something with a link, whatever's part of that link gets embedded. And every link I've seen has been her picture. This one. I've never seen it without this picture. And here she is on Instagram with the Me Too picture. So maybe I did see this and didn't realize it. Maybe this is what we did talk about back then, that she was going to Me Too Johnny. That we believe that title was all about Johnny, that she was threatening him. That if you go through with this case in the UK, if you don't dismiss it, I'm going to claim this. My opinion, my speculation based on the inference I took from her op-ed title. And then I think I saw that IG post. I must have. My opinion. I'm going to wrap it up. 5 more questions. What we got? Thank you. I love Andy, and I love Tug. I've been on Legal Bites, and I love Andrea and Jax and Brian. We just have a great time. The ACL removed his name. I subscribe every time I'm here. I think YouTube plays games with us. I swear we're shadow banned. They're dropping subscriptions. They're dropping notifications. Just keep checking. I really appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. Just keep checking. H said in an interview, Angela Jolie was her idol. That's why H was going after status with share. Oh, she was a UN ambassador. She was completely copying herself over her. I think Amber knew that she wasn't the best actress she hoped to be, and she was navigating to a future in ambassadorship politics. I think she just knew that she wasn't Angela Jolie acting-wise, or Scarlett, or anybody else that she shaded. Almost all of Hollywood divorces have non-disclosures. Yeah, of course. It's a lot you discuss in your home, not just personal stuff. You discuss future deals, possible deals, deals you lost, money you want for deals. Just a lot of things that you don't want. Nobody else needs to know. In fact, you don't want Disney to know what you discussed with Warner Brothers. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Did somebody say Warner Brothers didn't sue her? Oh, do we have that anywhere? Oh, that was a joke. You're right. It was unsubbed to me before. Okay. All right, guys. Quick, anybody hear anything from? Let's look up Warner Brothers sues Amber Heard. Somebody commented that to me. Inside the magic. I'm not seeing anything reliable enough. Amber Heard sued by Warner Brothers 2 days ago. Tasty gossip. That's not somebody I would promote. No. Doesn't look like it. All right, guys. I've got a storm coming in, and I could lose my Wi-Fi. Anything could happen, but I think I'd rather be safe and go now. Thank you all for coming. Let me know in the comments if you want to read documents or you want me to mostly just summarize them with quotes. I can try and do that. This might be a little bit hairy. I thought the best thing reading was that this person who's, I can't figure out her sitting in the courtroom, that she's so darn important to the defense because she got Gina Deuters kicked out. Hit the like button, subscribe, click, share, comment, do all the button things. And I'd like to keep growing. Thank you, Secret Miss Squirrel. Were you the only one moderating today? I couldn't tell. Thank you so much for moderating. Huge help. I didn't see anything wackadoodle. So you must have been getting them really good. Stay safe. Amber Heard is done in Fairfax. Document reading. Okay, I'll pull out the interesting ones, not all the crazy ones. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming up on this site for free, so hopefully I can use that and get enough information out of that. Thank you, guys. I'm going to sincerely sign off now. I'm going hoarse. Love you all. So glad we did this. It worked out a lot easier for me this time. And thank you all. You be safe and have a good rest of your week. It's Thursday. Tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, is the start of the holiday. The weekend, not the holiday. No holidays. Weekly wrap up. Well, I think we just did it. I can't believe do you think there'll be more news dropping by tomorrow? I hope not. I think we've had enough. So we'll consider this my weekly roundup. God, I can't talk anymore. Thanks, guys. Really saying goodbye now. Bye-bye.